They say revenge is a dish best served cold, but this time, oh, it came sizzling hot. It started like any other Saturday morning, except I woke up already annoyed. The night before, my entire house had gone dark. No warning, no flicker, just click. Dead silence. My fridge stopped humming. The fans froze mid spin. Even my Wi Fi router gave up like it couldn't handle life anymore. I figured maybe it was just a glitch, something small. But when I checked my solar setup in the morning, the battery was completely drained. That didn't make sense. My system was private, off-grid, my own investment, not some community freebie from the HOA. Maybe my batteries had just gone weak, I thought. It happens. But that night, it happened again. Lights flickered. Then boom, blackout. I lay there sweating, plastered to the tile floor like a lizard, wondering what kind of curse this was. Solar batteries don't just die 2 nights in a row unless something's seriously wrong. So I ran through the list. Maybe I'd left the oven on. Maybe the inverter was acting up. Still, none of it felt right. The drain was way too high for my usage. Something or someone was leeching power from me. By the third night, I'd had enough. Groceries spoiling, no sleep, constant heat. It was driving me insane. Then one night, I caught something that nearly made my jaw hit the floor. Around midnight, I peered outside, and there she was, Karen. The self-declared HOA queen herself in her fluffy robe, parading around my driveway like she owned the planet. And what she was doing. Oh, you'll want to sit for this one. Before we go any further, comment where in the world you are watching from, and make sure to subscribe to Silent Divide Tales, because tomorrow's story is one you don't want to miss. So there she was, dragging a thick charging cable across my driveway like she was fueling a private jet. She plugged her shiny Tesla straight into my solar grid, my personal power source, like it was some kind of free community amenity. At first, I froze. I mean, I'd suspected something shady, but this explained everything. My drained batteries, the blackouts, the sleepless nights. Karen had literally turned my solar setup into her personal charging station. I stormed out before my brain could catch up with my anger. "What the hell are you doing?" I shouted. She barely blinked. With that smug HOA smirk, she said, "Relax. I'm just using a community amenity." Community what? I almost laughed. "Karen, this is my personal solar grid. I paid for it. It's on my property." But of course, she rolled her eyes like I was the one being dramatic. The HOA bylaws say any visible infrastructure becomes part of the community. Your panels are visible, so technically, they're ours. Ours. She actually said ours, like she was talking about her royal treasury. I clenched my fists. "No, Karen, this isn't up for debate. You're stealing. Don't ever plug in here again." She waved me off like I was some peasant barking at her throne. "Come on, we both know you can't do anything. I'm the board." Can you believe that? The board. Like she wore a crown made of solar panels. So I smiled and said, "If you're the board, then maybe you should try me." Her smug face twitched for half a second before she turned and walked off, leaving her car still humming, still sucking my power dry. That's when it hit me. This woman wasn't going to stop. She really thought she was untouchable. But oh, if she thought my warning was just talk, she had another thing coming. I honestly thought that after our heated showdown, Karen would chill out, maybe crawl back into her HOA nest and rethink her life choices. But nope. The very next night, her Tesla was back in my driveway, charging away like a parasite on life support. And the worst part, she wasn't even sneaky about it anymore. She strutted right up, robe flowing, head high, plugging in like she was swiping her VIP pass to my property. That's when I knew this wasn't about convenience anymore. It was about power, my pride. So I made a call to my buddy Greg. Now, Greg isn't your average electrician. He's the kind of guy who looks at a circuit breaker and can tell you its hopes, dreams, and childhood trauma. When I told him what was going on, he laughed so hard I thought he'd choke. But when he realized I was serious, he showed up with his toolbox and the grin of a man about to commit petty genius. We opened up my inverter panel. Greg started tweaking wires, rerouting lines, and setting up what he proudly called a little surprise package. "You'll be able to juice this thing past safe mode," he said. "When she plugs in again, it won't just be a charge, it'll be fireworks." I nearly clapped. "Perfect," I told him. By evening, the trap was set. The outlet looked normal, harmless even, but underneath it was a sleeping dragon waiting to breathe fire. Then, just after 10 p.m., Right on schedule, Karen came humming into my driveway like she was starring in her own music video. She plugged in, leaned against her car, scrolling through her phone like nothing in the world could touch her. But then a faint wisp of smoke started curling from the cable. And just like that, Karma clocked in for her shift. At first, she didn't even notice it, that faint trail of smoke dancing in the moonlight. I stood by my window, arms crossed, watching like a proud director as the scene unfolded. A soft crackle came next. Then her Tesla screamed like a banshee. Karen jumped back so fast you'd think she'd seen a ghost. And then, boom! A pop echoed through the night, and a thick cloud of smoke curled into the sky. I grabbed my fire extinguisher and rushed out like a Hollywood hero storming into battle. Flames licked from under her precious Tesla's hood, sparks flying like 4th of July fireworks. Move, I shouted, spraying foam across the driveway, turning her luxury car into a frothy crime scene. She stood frozen, robe fluttering, eyes wide, phone shaking in her hands, probably debating whether to call the cops, the fire department, or Elon Musk himself. When the flames hissed into silence, I turned to her, cool, calm, and maybe a little too smug, and asked, "What happened? What happened?" Her face was red, eyes darting from me to the outlet to her roasted Tesla. I leaned in, voice low, almost gentle. "This wouldn't have happened if you just stopped plugging in here." That look on her face? Priceless. She knew I did something, but she couldn't prove a damn thing. All she had left was a 70,000 paperweight sitting in my driveway and a bruised ego that'd take years to charge. And the best part? Her insurance refused to cover it. Apparently, charging on someone else's property without authorization doesn't look great on a claim report. She couldn't even explain why her car was there without admitting she'd been stealing power. From that night on, silence. No angry HOA letters, no fake smiles, not even a glare. Karen avoided me like the plague, and my solar grid, untouched, safe, and gloriously mine. So yeah, maybe revenge isn't always cold. Sometimes it's electric. This is Silent Divide Tales, where karma always comes with a spark. Like, comment, and subscribe if you believe justice should always come with a little smoke.